Hello and welcome to Jagged Alliance 2, one of my favorite games of all time. Though it must also be said that it has been a long time since I've actually played this last, probably around 10 years or so. Anyway, if you're unfamiliar with this game, it is a 1999 classic tactical strategy / RPG game where you control a squad of mercenaries, or actually multiple squads of mercenaries, and you are essentially trying to free a fictional small state from a dictator and her army. Anyway, I have already set my preferences here. Not that there's a lot of options here really, but anyway. So let's go ahead and start a new game. Well, I guess I should mention there is also a very popular mod for this called 1.13, which I have played with, and it is a very good mod. I do agree with that, but for this playthrough I decided to go with no mods installed. Let's see how the vanilla game holds up. Okay, so let's go ahead and start a new game. Difficulty level expert, of course, because I want to get my ass kicked. And extra difficulty, I will be going with Ironman, though that might mean that the run will fail, or even multiple runs might fail. Means I cannot save during combat, so I guess I could treat it as a soft Ironman, kind of. Well, we'll see. Maybe I will. But yeah, let's select Ironman, and there is also gun options. Normal or tons of guns. I will go with just normal. Tons of guns might be too much. I know for a fact that it kind of is too much in the 1.13 mod. Don't remember how much this is in the vanilla game, but anyway, let's go with normal. And there is also a game style option between realistic and sci-fi. I will be going with realistic. Science fiction mode does add a few things here, and they are kind of divisive whether people like them or not, and I decided that for this playthrough let's go with realistic mode. Okay, and let's watch some cinematics. Yes.
Approaching waypoint Charlie. Left column, please advise. Left column, please advise. Make it column. Fire station Tango, on coordinates. Fire station Tango, firewood ready. Company.
I was happy to hear you have decided to take the assignment. No doubt your inquiries have shown that I, Enrico Chivaldori, speak the truth. In the past 10 years, since killing my father and framing me, my wife has inflicted great suffering upon my people. Those that may be of value to her are imprisoned, beaten, and tortured. The old, the sick, even infants with birth defects are removed swiftly from the population. Now it is time to remove her. I have brought the money you requested. It is everything I have. However, Arulco is full of gold and silver, and you might be able to convince the miners to help us in the struggle. There also exists a small but determined rebel movement. They are led by a man named Miguel Cordona. If you can locate Miguel, I have written a letter for you to give him. I believe he will accept you and prove to be an invaluable ally. I wish you luck, my friend.
Okay, so here we are. You have new mail. Alright, and we already have read 4 emails, but let's read them again. So this is from Enrico. Inquiry. You do not know me, however, I have been informed that you are in a position to help me. I wish to avoid divulging details of my predicament electronically, and wonder whether you can meet with me at your earliest convenience. Follow-up. Further to our discussion last night, I find your terms agreeable. I will need a couple of days to raise the money. While I am doing so, I trust you will be looking into my story. And we shall be able to conclude our deal shortly. And then we have something from RIS. RIS report. As you have requested, please find the background information on Arulco as a file attachment to this message. Thank you for choosing our services. And from Enrico again, I am available to meet with you at Petrinska Kavarna in Prague at the time and date you prescribed. I will bring the funds as requested. And finally, from Psych Pro Inc., we know what you're thinking. Know your character. Can you be your own worst enemy? How can you best use your talents? Find out who you really are at IMP, Institute for Mercenary Profiling. At IMP, we know the mercenary trade, we know the pressures you're under, and we know what it takes. Advice you won't find at any candy-ass PC site. Our profiles are designed to elicit honest answers, accurate results, and information you need to know. Why you need us? As professional armed servicemen, you need psychological profiling and sometimes counseling to get ahead in your profession and to use your God and Smith & Wesson given talents to their fullest potential. IMP takes you there. What you get? IMP analyzes you scientifically. We look at your personality, your skills, your physical attributes, right down to voice and portrait identification. Though I believe there are only 3 voice options and not many more in the ways of portraits. You get a look at your character, an in-depth profile of who you are and what makes you tick or get clocked. How much? With this special email offer you get it all for only $3,000, a savings of $2,500 of regularly advertised prices. This is a limited offer by invitation only. Okay, and we have a secret activation code. Law enforcement agencies are requested to note that this is for entertainment only, and IMP does not, in any way that can be proven in a court of law, technically, supply actual mercenaries. Okay. Let's check the files first. So here we have the recon report. I'll not read all of this as it is quite a lot of text, but I will give you, the viewer, the option to read all of it. I'll read a little bit here. If you don't know where to find us, we don't want your business. Client name confidential, client number blah blah blah, information requested Arulco. Geography, history, government, military background, intelligence. Personal check requested on Enrico Chivaldori. Account status cash, prepaid in full. Okay, some facts. Small third world country, varied terrain and climate, 1 major city, capital city of Meduna, 9 towns, remote and mostly rural, 2 airports, Meduna, jet aircraft capable and Drasen, light aircraft, 2 medical facilities, Meduna and Cambria. Most of the country's GDP is derived from precious metal exports, specifically gold and silver. Country has some light industry, mostly located in town of Grum. Government dictatorship under the guise of a monarchy for the past 10 years. Ruler Queen Didrana Reitman. Most government services, including education, were terminated approximately 8 years ago. Okay. And the rest of this, I guess I will not be reading, as there is quite a lot and my voice will give out. Here's a nice picture of Chivaldori. Okay, well, recent events. Miguel Cordona's rebel force has begun to receive outside funding to purchase the arms necessary to engage in small-scale skirmishes. Queen Didrana cancelled the election that was due to be held in 1998. With the same decree, she declared herself ruler for life. 2 months ago, Arolco's military forces attacked the Omerta rebel base. It is believed it was totally destroyed, although there have been unconfirmed reports of survivors. And apparently they believe that Enrico Chivaldori is dead, though we know that is not true. Okay, and now to create our own mercenary at IMP. Okay, so activation code. I've played this game enough times that I would perhaps even remember this code without reading that first email. Okay, let's begin. Name. J.S. Nickname. Bozo. Gender male. Okay, and there will be an extensive personality test here. Let's try to be honest from our character's perception. So when you were a kid, you most wanted to be Bruce Lee, Clint Eastwood, Rocky, Houdini, Terry Bradshaw, or the President. I will go with Clint Eastwood. And I do appreciate Clint's earlier and mid-career films quite a bit. Not all of them, of course, but the best ones are some of the best ever made. Anyway, next question. You are waiting in line at a circus watching a punk teenager attempt to throw darts at balloons in order to win a prize. He misses the first 3 shots and pays for more, apparently after a luxurious prize, a gold nose ring for his girlfriend. After watching him for 20 minutes, you grow frustrated. You have quite a bit of skill in this game, so you decide to offer him a bit of on-the-spot coaching and show him how to throw a dart properly. Maybe skillfully toss darts over his shoulder so that no one notices and he wins the prize. Well, that would be quite skillful indeed. Grab him by his chain-wearing neck and stick his concrete-hard, pointy purple hair spikes through the gigantic balloons he cannot seem to otherwise hit, or kindly ask the game's other attendant if he could possibly spare a moment from his 12-pack so that you two could play. Okay, well, in real life I would probably go with number 4, but let's go with number 1. So I will offer him some coaching. You have just watched someone put $1 million into a locker at a bus station. Okay, well, apparently I'm quite skilled at estimating the value or the amount of money from a distance. Amazed that he just walks away, albeit with the key, you find yourself in a moral dilemma. Thankfully, it does not last long. You wait for the coast to clear, pick the lock and take the money. Clear the coast yourself, who cares? You've got $1 million. Blow open the lock with your gun, walk coolly out of the building and grab the first blonde you happen to pass by. Follow him. Under the cover of darkness, you ambush him and grab the key along with any other goodies he might be carrying, like keys to other lockers. Or call the police, sure that something illegal is taking place and hope for a small reward. Okay, well, out of these options, I guess my character would want the money. Let's wait for the coast to clear and pick the lock. Suppose you owned a pickup truck and lived in Tennessee. What is the most likely item to be displayed in the rear window? Your rack of semi-automatic hunting rifles for those really aggressive deer, a peace sign, the rebel flag, a silhouette of a naked woman to complement those on your mud flaps, or a comical character with two big all guns and the words "back off" in blood red letters. Okay, well, let's go with the rack of semi-automatic hunting rifles. You never know about those deer. If you are unprepared, you might regret it. A certain annoying, pathetic, furry, purple dinosaur should be held up as a loving role model for children's morals and values. Hung from a tree and shot. Hung from a tree, shot, gutted, and run over by a buick. Well, I have no strong feelings about this character. I guess we'll go with number 1. Let's not get overly aggressive. You are alone and asleep in your bed at night when you hear a sound downstairs. You are certain someone is breaking into your house. In the lingering seconds between awakening and your impending heart attack, you reach for the phone and call 911. What would you most likely do next? Scream at the top of your lungs until your vocal cords feel like gravel? Well, I'm already kind of getting there reading all of this. Grab a knife and head downstairs after the intruder? Maybe. Stay on the phone and hide under the bed? Well, I wouldn't hide under the bed because it's really difficult to fight back from there. Realizing that you're trapped, you bolt out the nearest exit, even if that means jumping out of the second-story window. Maybe. Or grab your gun, begin blowing holes through the floor of your bedroom and yell, "Yeah, come on up and get some of this, tough guy!" Well, let's go with number 4. We will jump out. In the middle of a normal day in a large American city, you notice an army surplus store being looted. How normal. Thinking, with a decided lack of morals, that this must be your lucky day, you rush inside. There are, however, only 4 things left in the store. You grab one and rush out. Which one do you grab? A brand new computer, minus of course the necessary manuals. A complete set of survival knives with the special slicer and dicer attachment kit, night vision goggles bundled with an illustrated guide, daytime, the unnecessary hazard, or Bob, the night clerk, who is wrapped in duct tape, but otherwise okay. Well, I guess I'll go with the computer. You are applying for a job as a butcher. In an effort to give yourself the edge over other applicants, you demonstrate that you can skillfully wield 2 blades at the same time. Take a few liberties with your background, such as that high-profile and fictional position you held as foreman at Bob's slaughterhouse. Show up well-dressed and confident that you are the perfect candidate. Or begin practicing prime cuts on neighborhood pets. Well, I won't be doing that. Let's see. Let's take a few liberties here. Your wife is 3 hours late coming home and hasn't called. You didn't really notice. Tell Candy there's no rush to leave. Assume she is with someone else, no doubt a strapping 18-year-old young buck, or pace back and forth in the living room until you wear a path in the carpet. Okay, well, let's pace back and forth. That sounds a little bit like me. You live next door to a college frat house. Following weekend after weekend of loud and crazy parties, you decide that yes, you really are too old for this. Really begin to doubt that your wife is having a Rubbermaid party for the boys. Bribe your plumber to hook their septic tank directly into the CO2 system after installing several strategically placed Guinness signs. Or do nothing, fearing that calling the police would only lead them to do God knows what to your property. Okay, well, I'm too old for this. Driving to work in your new sports car, you pull up behind a young man in a minivan going approximately -5 miles per hour. You are unable to pass him and in your frustration begin to fantasize that you press R for rocket launcher, that you could hold a class wherein you would teach people proper autobahn driving techniques, that a ramming device springs out from the front of your car and baps his car faster. That every curse you're uttering could be broadcast loudly and in stereo inside his vehicle, or the psychic ray of death spins them off the road where they would be slapped by Mario Andretti, who says, "Give me your license!" Okay, well, out of these options, number 1 and number 5 seem like the ones I like the most. Let's go with the psychic ray of death. Typically, you do not endorse violence. However, you would easily pay $1,000 to see the following fight: Jackie Chan versus Jean-Claude Van Damme, Crocodile Dundee versus Tarzan, Barbie versus Godzilla, the NRA versus Congress, Mike Tyson versus the Incredible Hulk, Bill Gates versus Robocop, your mate versus the defensive line of the Washington Redskins. No, really, I do endorse violence. Let's go with the number 1 option. I think this would be even better now that they've aged significantly since this game was made. Would be entertaining indeed, if not really good for their health. During the summer, you generally think, and that's more you can say for yourself in the other seasons, that your children will any day now drive you completely insane and your clothes already. That this fashion trend toward less is more is a very good thing. It's too damn hot. Okay, well, I generally do prefer the milder temperatures, and summers occasionally do get a little bit too hot for me. At least inside, since I don't have proper AC. Anyway, so let's go with that. There is very little you would not do willingly, except sit in a window seat of a small airplane as you circle in a holding pattern for 2 hours, even if the captain assures you that the plane has plenty of fuel and the weather is good. Ever admit that once, just once, you were turned on by a comic book character? Spend a week walking through the desert, even if you knew that the woman of your dreams would be on the other side. Software development. Okay, well, let's see. Well, let's go with number 2 here. If you were a Major League Baseball player, you would be best known for your accurate pitching, switch hitting, enormous bat, or outlandish requests for a bigger salary. I mean, who can really scrape by on $1 million a year these days? Let's go with accurate pitching. And this is the last question. You are on a commercial jetliner which crashes in a remote mountain range. Half the passengers survive the impact. Fortunately, you are one of them. Being the leader that you are, you gather the survivors and announce that you will lead a team down the mountainside to seek help. Concerned with starvation, declare yourself chef and send a team to see if the heavyset woman you spotted earlier in first class survived. Gather the survivors around the wreckage and light what remains of the fuel tanks. As the fire grows in intensity, you yell repeatedly, "Why prolong it?" Hunt down the bar cart. Finding it intact, you organize one last drunken blowout before everyone freezes to death. Okay, well, let's seek some help. Okay, and finally that is done. You're very sure of yourself. Impressive. Okay, attributes. An average merc ranks in at 55 in attributes. 100 is the maximum and the minimum is 35. Though you can go to 0 if you like. For skills, that is. Okay, so I will be playing a pretty standard character, just shooting things, so some marksmanship. Skills do improve during the course of the game, as do attributes. And wisdom is one of the best ones because it affects how quickly you learn new things. Okay, come on, let me... Oh, I'm out of... Yeah, that makes sense. For now, let's keep the skills at 35, though I probably will be lowering explosives to 0. Okay, so agility is good. Dexterity, sure. Health is good. Okay, maybe I will lower marksmanship even further a little bit, because that will improve quite rapidly from what I remember. And yeah, let's get rid of explosives. Not every character needs to be able to do every single thing, and at 35 it's not something I'd like to do anyway. Rather have a specialist for that. Okay, let's go with some more health here. And max out agility. And some more strength. So I guess I would still like to get more strength. Well, let's go with 70 strength. So not the strongest, not quite the healthiest, but very good at agility and quite wise. Okay, finished. Yes. Okay, portrait. Okay, so there are not many options here. 7, 8, yeah, 8 portraits if I counted correctly. Let's go with this guy.
Time for the enemy to say its prayers.
Okay, voice selection.
We have some inconveniences to dispose of.
Time to take out the trash.
Time for the enemy to say its prayers.
Okay, so only 3 options.
We have some inconveniences to dispose of.
I'll go with the number 2 option, I think. Okay, so that's the character done. Even as you read this, your profile answers are being compiled and analyzed by our team of mercenary profiling professionals. You should receive an email containing the results within the next 48 to 72 hours. Do you authorize the $3,000 payment? Yes. Yes, I do. Okay, so now we have personnel of 1 merc. Here is JS Bozo. And we got electronics and teaching. So the personality questionnaire does affect what you get from there. I don't think it really matters all that much what you get. But I do believe with the 1.13 mod you can skip the questionnaire and just choose whatever you like. It does affect things a little bit. Electronics, I think, comes into play with mechanical, and we do have some mechanical, but we'll see if that really affects anything. Teaching, maybe will do something at some point. We shall see. We shall see. And now, basically all that remains is to hire some actual mercenaries from AIM, the Association of International Mercenaries, the most professional choice for commanders in need of a qualified hired gun. You must be at least... Okay, never mind. Our ads carry weight. Okay, you must be at least 18 years, blah 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 blah. No felonies, blah 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 blah. Policies, let's see about this. Any and all employers agree to have read and understood, blah 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 blah. Waives any rights. So, in these texts in this game, something like this, there are pretty often some quite amusing jokes. But I don't remember, and maybe this is too much to read here. I might be going over some of this stuff later. Let's go back to the homepage. Anyway, let's just go to the members. And there are sorting options as well here. Let's just go to the mercenary mugshot index. So we still have 27,000. And the guys on the bottom are the cheapest, and the guys on the top, conversely, are the most expensive. So Gus here, for example, is quite good and has quite good equipment, but even for 1 week he is way too much for us. I could hire this guy for 1 day and steal his equipment. I believe that is something that people do. I won't be doing that. But anyway, also all of these guys are voiced, and the voice acting overall in this game is really, really good and charming, as well as the writing. Not quite always perfect, but like 98% of the time it is.
Turbo's here.
And they do have quite a few lines.
Yeah, I'm with AIM now. My age, you gotta start thinking benefits.
Yes. Anyway, since some of these guys are so expensive, and even though I have played this game quite a bit, I don't think ever used every single mercenary, especially the more expensive guys. Anyway, so what you usually do is hire some of these cheaper guys for a week or maybe 2. I do like Steroid. He comes with good marksmanship and mechanical. Lots of health, lots of strength. The other stats are pretty poor, but he's also one of the most amusing mercenaries in the game. So I will probably be picking him up. So Bobby Steroid Gontarski, you might be able to guess on who this is based on. The transition from fighting fires to firefights has been quite the success for this ex-fireman from Warsaw. His knowledge of electronics kept the outdated and underfunded Polish firehouse running, and now his eagle-eyed vision and pumped-up persistence are keeping his enemies on the run.
This is Steroid Gontarski speaking. If I work with your team, I whip other members into shape damn quick.
There is also a voice line, I believe, if you wait long enough here without selecting anything. Let's see about that one.
What you waiting for me to say?
Yeah. Okay, well, sure. I guess I will get Steroid.
This is Steroid.
So I basically always get him.
Me.
I guess I should try to make sure I don't speak over him, as his voice lines are quite funny.
If I work with your team, I whip other members into shape damn quick.
Yeah, you already said that. Anyway, so 1 or 2 weeks. Let's go with 2, I believe. Okay. So maybe it would have been better to get only 1 week, as we are now at only 17, well, nearly 18k. Okay, let's go back to members. And let's see, we need a doctor. So MD is a doctor. Was Fox a doctor? Maybe. Spider is a doctor. Let's see about Fox. Yes, kind of a doctor. Or basically an emergency room nurse. So all of these mercenaries are kind of unique in how they're built and what they excel at and what they don't excel at. So Michael Dawson here is an excellent starting character, 80 medical skill, but yeah, marksmanship leaves a lot to be desired. He is also very cheap though, so maybe go with the cheap option. His personality is not the most amusing. Let's see about Cynthia Fox.
The fox is listening. Don't let my looks deceive you. While I take care of myself, I'm also quite capable of taking care of others, too.
Okay, well, maybe. Let's see about MD here.
Michael Dawson, MD. I know I'm a little green as far as fieldwork, but just put a scalpel in my hand and watch my smoke.
Okay, so personality-wise, he's not my favorite. I think I'll go with someone else. Like I said, so Fox or Donna Spider Houston.
Dr. Houston, how may I help you? I'm not trying to sound morbid, but I really do enjoy fieldwork.
Okay, I'll go with Fox. She's also a bit cheaper. And maybe I'll just go with 1 week.
The fox is listening. Okay, I imagine you'll want to get maximum value and go long term.
Well, I would like that, but I am running out of money, kind of. So let's go with just 1 week. So the difference is only 3k. Okay, we still have 11,000. Igor is one of the best starting cheap mercs that people usually take. I don't remember if Igor had like a problem, or rather if Steroid has a problem with Igor. I think I will actually look that up. Yeah, okay, so Steroid does have a problem with Igor and also Igor's brother, the far more experienced and expensive mercenary Ivan Dolvich, which is, I believe this guy is one of the fan favorites, but anyway, let's not have any bad blood in the company, so how about some good blood instead, maybe? Though, let's see, what are our actual weapons? Okay, a Beretta, Desert Eagle, Glock 17. Okay, so just some pistols. I would prefer to get something else than a pistol to start the game with. So let's see here. Does anyone who's cheap actually get something else? Doesn't look like it. Nope. Can I afford someone who gets something that packs a little bit more punch? Peter Wolf Sanderson is on assignment. Ice Williams has an MP5. I can afford him for 1 week. Let's see, what are we missing? Like an explosives expert. Well, I guess we can make do with like pistols. So let's get an explosives guy. I usually go with Barry Unger here. Hungarian-born Unger is a part of a new breed of explosive experts. Learned most of his trade the safe way in a classroom, etc, etc, etc. But what other options are there for us? Norma has 40, but I think 40 might be a little bit low. Remarkably ambidextrous. Ernie Red Sprague has 99 explosive. Well, that's quite a bit. We can afford him for 1 week, after which we can basically afford no one. I guess we just have to go with the money situation and go with the safe, cheap bet, which is Barry. Let's get Barry Unger.
Hello, Barry Unger. What can be done for you?
Unger, sorry.
I apologize. I sometimes have trouble with the language. You call me for purpose?
You and me both, buddy.
How long you want me to work?
Okay, let's go with 1 week. That leaves me with enough money for one more guy or gal.
We have reached simultaneous agreement. Count me as part of your team.
Okay, so 6,400 left here. So who can I get? That's actually decent at something. How's Grizzly? Marksmanship of 79. So basically just a cheap buddy who can kind of shoot. John Bull Peters, kind of the same. How about Monica Buns? Marksmanship of 86. Can I afford her for a week?
This is Monica Sondergaard. Who am I speaking with? I think it's your turn to talk.
Yeah, okay, well, I do get nervous sometimes when I interact with beautiful women. Anyway, by the way, how did you get your nickname? Anyway,
What do you want?
I want to hire you.
And what are your specific needs in regards to duration?
Well, sadly I cannot afford her. Not with the equipment at least. I guess that means I skip. Well, sorry about that. So I guess I'll get like... well, can I afford you, Mr. Grizzly?
Yeah, what do you want? You bring the brain, I'll bring the brawn, you know.
Well, we already have Steroid who's doing the same thing, but sure.
How long we talking about here?
Okay, can easily afford this guy. Can I even do 2 weeks? Not quite. Okay, well, 1 week it is.
Excellent.
Okay, so that's the team assembled. So nothing more to do here. Now we actually start playing the game. So shut down the laptop. Okay, so here is the strategy screen. Here is the map. We start at Omerta. The game does, of course, scale. So you start out against weaker enemies with only pistols, and then they do get progressively better equipped. But so do you. Also, the rates of the mercenaries depend, I think, on their level, and they will be leveling up here, which means that getting their contracts extended will be costing more, but hopefully we can be making some money here. Anyway, let's start fighting. Oh crap. Well, apparently Steroid and Fox... Well, at least Fox dislikes Steroid. Oh well. We might be getting some amusement out of that, at least.
Enemy exists in region.
Okay. So it is real time until you spot the actual enemy. And there are lines of sights in this game. Okay, there we go, seeing the first enemy. And since we're equipped with this garbage, we are out of effective weapon range. I don't actually know specifically what that means. Occasionally you can hit from this distance, and it does even deal damage. So I guess we'll just start luring these guys in, as they will just be pretty stupidly running towards us, and then hopefully we will be prevailing. Oh, immediately score a hit there. That's quite lucky. You can't, I believe, actually see the hit percentages in this game, but usually just go with the aimed shots here. Okay, can't get lucky twice. Alright, so let's reposition here.
You called?
Yeah. Standing by.
So my character there. Yes, I know, out of effective weapon range. I kind of remember how to play this game, but also kind of not. I guess I won't actually be shooting with you.
Yeah.
How about with you? Since he is in all black, basically, I think that means that you can't... Well, you can maybe barely see him, but that's it. So let's not actually waste any shots there.
You called?
Okay, so end turn.
You called?
Okay, so he will be getting some friends to appear pretty soon.
Standing by.
Not quite yet, though.
Standing by.
I think we'll just hold this position. I don't think the early enemies have grenades or rifles or anything like that, so it's probably fine. It seems no one else can really actually see this guy, though.
Yes.
Oh, you can. Okay. Well, let's go for it. Seems we did get very lucky with that first shot.
Target.
Okay, more. Would be really bad for you if we actually had some weaponry here instead of these pea shooters. But eventually we might be able to hit something.
Standing by.
So far, not the case though. Okay, well, let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
Maybe not the best way to play this game, I don't know. I'm not an expert. Oh, whoops. Well, it's fine.
Standing by.
Okay, there we go.
Standing by.
Yeah.
You can do it, steroid. Oh, yeah, there you go. Pep talk worked. Okay. Turn that way.
You called?
Fox is just observing. This guy's gonna bleed out.
You called?
Well, I guess we can try to facilitate the process.
Can't get a solid handle on that from here.
Okay, well, if you say so.
Standing by.
Yes. I have no clear shot from here.
I guess I could be moving, but there are more enemies, and maybe they will be coming for this pretty well defended spot, though obviously still the distance limitations of these weapons are an issue. This guy is at critical condition and, like I said, will be bleeding out. Well, let's wait for a few turns here. I could also duck, but let's not do that.
You called? I have
Okay, more of them. If I had even one actual weapon, this would be so much easier. Not that it's actually difficult so far, but you know what I mean.
You called?
Okay, well, let's keep on trying to hit here. These early fights are, in my experience, they usually go like this, unless you want to take the fight to close quarters.
Yes. I have no clear shot from here.
Well, I guess we will be moving in a bit, but not just yet. Oh, you still can't see anything? Is it because you're not looking that way? No. There are also, let's see, yeah, line of sight. Okay. Display cover. So green is good, I think. Okay, well, let's keep on waiting, I suppose. Though you could reload.
Standing by.
Nice.
Cool. Target. Standing by.
The AI of this game is not fantastic, but not complaining really. The 1.13 mod at least claims to improve the AI. I suppose it's true, but I haven't looked into the details. I guess I might be sending like Barry out there maybe, and maybe my own character as well. Okay, and you can run as well, which maybe I should. Let's see, let's display cover. Maybe move like there first. Let's see about running. 14 action points, 20 action points. The problem with close quarters is that while you get a better chance to hit, so do they. So do they. Well, let's move there. Come on.
Gotcha. Target in sight.
Okay. And go prone. And we can't actually see here. Oops. Yeah, line of sight. Well, that's fine.
Yes.
Okay, Barry. Can you actually see through the doorway? I don't remember if it works like that.
Terrible.
Well, thankfully no interruption. No, you can't actually do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice shot.
You called?
Okay.
You called?
Alrighty. Let's kill these fools. I said, let's kill these fools.
Yes. Yeah.
There you go.
Standing by.
Okay, moving there 11. Sure. And turn that way. And let's go down. Maybe move like here. Can't actually see anything, but hold that position.
Yes. Standing by. Cool.
Nicely done.
Standing by.
Even from this distance, it's out of effective weapon range
You called?
with the pea shooters.
Yes.
You called?
Okay, let's send Fox over here. Actually, no, not enough AP. Move there.
To it.
Yes.
So I don't want to stand out in the open is the problem here if I advance like this guy's doing. I guess I'll just hold here in case of an interruption.
Standing by. Yeah.
Reload there.
Yeah. Standing by.
Okay, come on. There you go.
Target dispatched.
Still have at least one enemy left.
Yes?
You called?
Yeah. Yes?
Okay. I don't remember what the command is to... Let's see, can I see here? No. Okay, well that's a shame. Can't see the keyboard shortcuts there. Well, anyway. What I was going to say is the command to extend your weapon in the direction that you're pointing at. Anyway, let's keep on waiting, I guess.
Yes?
We can hear the guy bleeding out.
Standing by.
We
Standing
must not
by.
forget that we have left our enemies hiding.
Shh! Noise!
Trouble
Hello.
is here.
Standing by.
Okay. Are you dead? You're dead.
All right.
Okay, and still have at least one guy.
Standing by.
We mustn't
Standing
forget
by.
the ones we didn't get.
Okay, so take these real-time moments for repositioning.
You called? Will do. What's that lying around?
Okay, apparently something was dropped.
Done. Okay. Over here.
Standing by.
Yes? Look there.
Yeah. What is that? Agreed.
Standing by.
Oh, whoops, did not mean to do that. Get back there, steroid.
Understood.
Okay, there is also stealth mode.
Gotcha.
Let's try it out here.
Yes? Okay.
Standing by.
Locating these final enemies in a map can be a bit of a pain.
Yes?
Standing by. Understood. Gotcha.
Standing by. Done.
Yes? Understand.
Okay, let's not get split up too much.
Yeah. Is good.
You called? Will do.
Yeah.
Standing by. Gotcha.
Still nothing. Oh, never mind.
Some inconveniences to dispose of. Standing by.
And that is a shotgun.
Yeah.
Alright, kind of scary.
Standing by.
Hmm. Okay, just... Oh, you can't change to that stance there. Hmm. Just move there.
Gotcha.
Yes? Understand.
It is quite likely that some of these guys will die in Ironman mode. But if we have the money, we can hire replacements.
You called?
Anyway,
You called?
I suppose we'll edge towards that guy.
Yeah.
But not get too close.
Standing by.
Okay, let's see. What is your line of sight actually? Okay, not that much. Yeah, I'd like to get vision here.
Yes. Yeah.
Can you see there? Well, not really. Okay.
Standing by.
You can go there, in that case.
Done.
You called? You
They
called?
probably haven't strayed too far.
Yes.
Standing by.
You called? I'm into it.
Yes.
Okay, well, I guess we need to be the aggressors here. There are 5 of us and only 1 of him. But if someone gets hit by that shotgun, it's going to be very nasty. Oh, there he is. Okay, lie down. Nice. So, is... Well, I don't remember the commands. I think there is a command to look at something though.
Yeah.
Get out of there if you can.
Agreed.
You called?
Pop out of there. So going back is how much? 3.
What's that lying around?
It is a bloody knife. Nice to know.
Standing by.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to assume this is the last guy on the map. If not, then we'll deal with it somehow.
Yes.
Standing by.
Yes.
You called?
Yeah. Agreed.
Well, let's get a little bit closer. 16 AP.
He's terrible.
Okay, so I can't actually shoot and get back, so I will just get back, I think. This is partly why having more AP is obviously better.
Standing by.
You called? I'm into it.
Can you shoot and do all of that? Yes, you should be able to.
I'll never connect with that.
Oh, never mind. Well, we can try for a headshot, I guess. Would be quite the shot indeed. Not this time.
Standing by.
Just hold there.
Standing by. Standing by.
Nice try, buddy. Can't see from there.
Yes.
But we can do this. So moving back is 3. Okay. Sucks to be you, buddy.
Standing by.
Okay, so if I move like here... Yes, okay. This should be able to... Or this should be enough. There we go.
Well, that's the last of them.
Alright. So that's the very first fight done. Went pretty well. Getting hit even once by that shotgun would have sucked immensely.
Look there.
Okay, so there is a bunch of stuff to loot. I believe there is also a guy we will speak with. Let's see, we have a letter from Enrico. This is the letter Enrico gave you. Deliver it to Miguel, leader of the rebels. Okay, whoops, did not mean to do that. Let's actually reload while I'm at it.
Yeah.
Is there a... Let's see. Is 9 actually the capacity here? Yes, okay. I'll go with the weapons as they are for now. Okay, 5 out of 6. Whoops. Okay. So we have a metal detector, a canteen, a first aid kit, some ammo, and the letter here. Does anyone else have anything of importance? Well, Steroid has a toolkit and a locksmith kit. Fox has a medical kit. Okay, well, anyway. I don't remember if you need to, like, manually loot everything you want in this game, or if it lets you loot everything as you leave the area map. Anyway, here is Pacos.
Standing by.
So let's first speak with him.
Mommy said never talk to strangers.
Well, you can't make any friends if that's your policy. Okay, so we can't actually speak with the guy or the boy. But we can, I believe, give him the letter. Oh, come on, stop running away. Oh, never mind. It's, no, it's to you, Fatima, not to the boy.
Why are you here?
I'm just killing people.
How could it be that you were sent by Enrico? He has been dead for more than 10 years. You want me to believe that you are working for a dead man? I would suggest that you leave Omerta before you, yourself, become one.
Yes, that is sound advice, truly. But anyway, I have a letter.
A letter from Enrico Civaldori. He has not forgotten us. Very few people are aware that he's alive. As far as most of the people in Aruco are concerned, he was murdered over a decade ago. We had given up hope of ever hearing from Enrico again. Who would believe that someone living in the comforts of exile would care about this dismal country? Very well then. Follow me. Do not make any quick moves. Miguel's men will be nervous. You do not wish to intimidate them. The Drana has brutally bombed and attacked us for over 2 straight months.
Gotcha!
All right. So let's patiently follow her. But yeah, we should also loot this map, so we shall see if the game gives us an option to do so. Or do I need to do it manually? Okay, it seems that manually is the way to go. Oh well. I will be doing so. But let's see. So there is, well, never mind. Meanwhile,
this better be good.
Forgive the intrusion, Your Highness, but one of our North patrols has been attacked.
Elliot, you idiot! We crushed those rebels in Omerta! How can it be?
From what we have learned, Your Majesty, the rebels seem to have some sort of foreign aid, commando types. We speculate they arrived on the helicopter that was spotted earlier.
Commando types? What sort of commando types? From where?
They may be hired mercenaries, Your Highness. There weren't many.
What? How would the rebels get the means to recruit mercenaries? Well, no matter. Send me their bodies for examination.
The rebel party seems to have used the element of surprise to their advantage, my queen. They defeated us.
Send my troops to the location at once.
Yes, Your Highness.
okay, but anyway, so there is a lot of, well, maybe not a lot, but some stuff to loot here, and I will be doing so, but for now I do need a break, so thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you next time.